These 7 jobs AI will change first. Everybody keeps asking the same question. Will AI replace jobs? Honestly, I think that's the wrong question, because AI doesn't need to replace entire jobs. To completely change how businesses operate, it only needs to change parts of them. Research, scheduling, writing, customer communication, analysis, documentation, repetitive operational work. Small changes compound, and quietly, entire industries begin operating differently. If you own a business, manage people, or work in an office, you've probably already felt it. More software, more automation, more systems, more expectations. Some people think AI changes are years away. I don't think they are. I think they're already happening, quietly. So I spent time researching which jobs AI is most likely to change first. And honestly, some of these surprised me. Job number 7, customer support. Customer support quietly drives modern business. Questions, issues, follow-ups, status updates, information requests. Businesses handle thousands of repetitive conversations every day, and repetitive work is exactly where automation becomes powerful. AI support systems already answer common questions, handle routing, process information, create summaries, assist human teams. And here's what's important. This doesn't necessarily remove people. It changes how people work. One employee, supported by stronger systems, can suddenly handle dramatically more volume. And capability compounds. Business owners understand this immediately. Operations matter. Efficiency matters. Small improvements quietly create large advantages, which is why support systems may look very different over the next decade. Job number 6, data entry. Nobody dreams about doing repetitive administrative work, copying information, moving information, updating systems, documentation, manual inputs, status tracking, operational maintenance. Modern businesses still spend incredible amounts of time moving information around, not creating value. Moving information. And AI increasingly handles structured, repetitive work extremely well. Pattern recognition, categorization, data organization, document processing, information movement, which creates leverage. Because businesses rarely struggle because people don't work hard. Businesses struggle because systems create friction. Tiny delays, tiny inefficiencies, tiny repetitive work, tiny friction compounds. But removing friction compounds too. And that's where automation changes operations, quietly, then suddenly. Job number 5, research roles. Research powers modern business, competitor analysis, market understanding, industry trends, customer behavior, pricing information, operational intelligence. Research matters, but research creates friction. Everybody knows the feeling. Open browser, search question, open 10 tabs, read articles, compare information, lose original thought. Modern work increasingly creates information overload. AI changes information processing, not replacing thinking, accelerating thinking. Large reports, research summaries, document processing, information organization, faster understanding, faster decisions, and decisions compound. Business owners understand this immediately. The faster information moves, the faster execution happens. And execution compounds. Job number 4, administrative operations. Operations quietly hold businesses together. Scheduling, documentation, meeting coordination, status updates, task movement, workflow organization. Administrative work often feels invisible until systems fail. Then suddenly, everything breaks. And honestly, modern operations create incredible amounts of repetitive work. Tiny tasks, tiny responsibilities, tiny operational friction. AI increasingly supports those systems. Task organization, calendar support, meeting summaries, workflow visibility, information movement. Administrative systems become stronger, operational visibility improves, and stronger systems create stronger execution, not because people disappear, because leverage improves, and leverage compounds. But the next 3 jobs feel different, because these don't simply become more efficient, they fundamentally change what one person can accomplish. Job number 3, marketing production. Marketing changed fast. Content creation, campaign development, research, testing, creative production, visual creation. Ideas move faster, execution moves faster, and businesses increasingly compete on speed. Everybody has ideas. Execution separates businesses. AI increasingly accelerates execution. Research acceleration, content workflows, visual generation, campaign testing, system support. The business is building stronger systems, move faster. Faster execution compounds, and compounded execution changes outcomes. Business owners feel this immediately. Time matters, speed matters, operational leverage matters. AI increasingly creates leverage. Job number 2, content creation. Content quietly became infrastructure. Businesses create content, teams create content, professionals create content, brands create content. Information increasingly drives growth, and modern content production creates friction. Research, writing, editing, voice production, clipping, distribution. Systems, workflows, repetitive tasks compound quickly. AI increasingly accelerates those systems. Voice generation, editing systems, research systems, distribution workflows, production leverage, and leverage compounds. One person today can create output that previously required teams. That changes economics. Quietly, then suddenly. Entire industries operate differently. Job number 1, knowledge work. This matters most because knowledge work touches everything. Analysis, planning, operations, decision support, communication, information processing, problem solving. Modern businesses increasingly run on information, and AI increasingly supports information. Research acceleration, documentation support, workflow visibility, decision assistance, information organization, context systems. This doesn't mean humans disappear. I don't think that's where this goes. I think something more interesting happens. Humans operating stronger systems outperform humans operating weaker systems, and stronger systems compound, quietly, then suddenly. Businesses operate differently entirely. Which brings us back to the original question. Will AI replace jobs? Honestly, I still think that's the wrong question, because businesses don't change overnight. Small improvements compound, small systems compound, small efficiencies compound, research improves, operations improve, communication improves, execution improves. Eventually, work itself begins changing, quietly, gradually, then suddenly. 5 years ago, most of this sounded impossible. Today, it's sitting inside browser tabs, quietly changing business, quietly changing operations, quietly changing expectations. 5 years from now, today's AI systems may feel primitive, which means businesses learning stronger systems today may quietly build advantages. Faster decisions, stronger execution, less friction, more leverage, and leverage compounds. Historically, strong systems outperform weak systems. Technology changes. That principle doesn't. So now I'm curious, which job do you think changes first? And which jobs do humans always keep? Comment below and subscribe, because next time we push this even further.